Fox host Neil Cavuto lost it at the Trump administration because they're downplaying the election. They're downplaying the results. They're trying to obfuscate and deflect and honestly outright lie as well. Take a look.
You don't oppose our efforts at sunlight and transparency because you have nothing to hide. You take these positions because you are welcoming fraud and you are welcoming illegal voting. Our position is clear. We want to protect the franchise of the American people. We want an honest, accurate, lawful count. We want maximum sunlight. We want maximum transparency. We want every legal vote to be counted, and we want every illegal vote to be...
Whoa. I just think we have to be very clear. She's charging, the other side is welcoming fraud and welcoming illegal voting. Unless she has more details to back that up, I can't in good countenance continue showing you this. I want to make sure that maybe they do have something to back that up, but that's an explosive charge to make, that the other side is effectively rigging and cheating. If she does bring proof of that, of course, we'll take you back. So far, she has started saying right at the outset, welcoming fraud, welcoming illegal voting. Not so fast.
The anti-cancel culture crowd, the anti-snowflake crowd, by the way, responded to this by calling for Neil Cavuto to be fired. I saw a number of tweets from people not with small followings, rather large Twitter followings, saying you got to fire Neil Cavuto. What happened? I thought you guys were against cancel culture. I thought you guys were against snowflakes. You are doing cancel culture, and you are the snowflakes. Now, what he's saying here, just so everybody understands, is not controversial at all. Like, see, this is the thing that I'm astounded by. If they were going to contest the election when Biden has 306 electoral votes and he's up by millions of votes, they were going to contest it no matter what. No matter what. If Biden had 320 votes, they're going to contest. If Biden won 412 votes and won Texas, they would absolutely contest it. And if anything, they would view that as even more fuel to the fire to say, oh, really? The Democrat won Texas? I'm supposed to believe that? And so there was no situation where Trump wouldn't contest it because he has no idea how to handle rejection. And he's an empty, vapid husk of a man, a shell of a human being. And he's got enough people around him who are willing to do his bidding and say ridiculous things like she is. Whatever her name is, McEnany. How do you have a name and I struggle to pronounce the first and the last? Like, it's one thing, okay, I get it. Like, maybe one of the two I'll struggle because I'm not that great at pronouncing stuff, but Kaylee McEnany? Whatever. So Joe Biden is up by about, right now, as I'm talking to you guys, by about 5 million votes, by about 3.1% or so. Now, when all the votes are counted, because we're not done with New York, we're not done with California, that's going to add to his popular vote lead, Joe Biden will have won the election by about 5%, anywhere from 4% to 5%. Now, that's an underperformance. He should have, 8 is what he was up in the polls, so if the polls were correct, he would have won by 8%. He's going to win by about 4%, right? But that is a colossal victory, objectively speaking. Like, if you told me in 2018, it's going to be Joe Biden versus Trump, and Biden's going to win by millions of votes by about 4%, and he's going to have 306 electoral votes, that's a comfortable win. That's not close. And so what they're doing is incredibly confusing because what are you going to do? The 4 states that it really comes down to, Joe Biden, even in a recount scenario, he could lose 2 of the 4 and still win the election. So what are you going to do? Their best hope is Georgia, where Biden's up like 15,000 votes. That's as close as they get in any of the states. You're not going to find 16,000 instances of voter fraud in Georgia. And that's your closest state. Then you got Arizona. It's a little bit more, right? What are you going to do? You're going to somehow win Georgia and Arizona and still lose the electoral college. So then what? What are you going to do? Pennsylvania, his lead when all said and done is going to be about 80,000 to 100,000 votes. You're nowhere close, son. You're nowhere close. So they're not even like, guys, we should all be incredibly happy that this isn't like the year 2000 where it was like 270 or 271 electoral votes and it all came down to one state. Because if it came down to one state, they would, use all of their resources and try to do anything they can to steal it. It's just that Biden, they're up in 4 really important states and it's somewhat comfortable. So there's just not enough there for them to raise a stink enough and to marshal enough resources and to actually overthrow it. But they're trying with this utter nonsense. And what I'm amazed by is how at every step the argument is bullshit. So, like she's saying, oh, we just care about sunlight and transparency. That's what we care about. Why are the Democrats against it? Nobody's against sunlight and transparency. When they count the votes, they always have Democrats and Republicans in the room. Always. Always. Every single time. So when you say, oh, you're not letting us in to look, there's no sunlight, there's no transparency, there are Republicans in the room. They're already there. So what do they mean? What they mean is allow their rambunctious, unhinged, insane crowds of rabidly pro-Trump, don't care about democracy crowd to get in there, stand 6 feet away and harass the vote counters. That's what, Democrats have an issue to. Do I want Rudy Giuliani and Pam Bondi and Corey Lewandowski standing 6 feet away from people trying to count votes? Do I trust them? Fuck no, I don't trust them. Do I trust a generic Democrat and a generic Republican? And should there be Democrats and Republicans in the room when they count? Of course there should be. And there are. But you see what they're doing here? They're just trying to obfuscate. They're just trying to raise doubt about the election. But every single step of the way, they're making bullshit arguments. This idea of, oh, we want to count every legal vote, but we don't want to count the illegal votes. As if Democrats are like, we really should count the illegal votes. That's what I think. What illegal votes? What are you talking about? This idea, and Trump said this in 2016 too, oh, there were hundreds of thousands or millions of illegal immigrants who voted. Really? Really? Have you ever driven behind somebody in a beaten down car and the speed limit is 30 and they're going like 26 miles an hour? And you peek in and you're, okay. Usually, and this has happened to me a number of times, it's an undocumented immigrant. And the reason they're going less than 30 miles an hour is because they don't want to get pulled over and they don't want to get deported. What undocumented immigrant in their right mind would say, I really don't want to get caught and deported, so let me go show up to vote as if I'm a citizen? It simply doesn't happen. We have numbers on this. They've done studies on this. Voter fraud is nearly non-existent. In fact, the biggest problem is the exact opposite. The biggest problem is voter disenfranchisement, which gets to what Kaylee's saying here. Because when you say, I want to count every legal vote and every illegal vote, what does she mean when she says illegal vote? I'll tell you. She means what they try to do in all these Republican states. They will take the mail-in votes and go through it with a fine-tooth comb and use anything and everything to reject it and say it's illegitimate. So, for example, if your name on the ballot, if your name on your license has your middle initial and your name on the ballot does not have your middle initial, well, sorry, that might not be you. We're going to throw it out. This happens with me, guys. I have on some government documents, I have my middle initial. On other government documents, I don't have my middle initial. Like credit cards, whatever. It varies from place to place because sometimes I just say Kyle Kulinski. Sometimes, I throw my middle initial out there, say my middle name as well. So it's mixed everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, from document to document. If it's not lined up properly for voting, they're going to throw it out. They're looking for excuses, ladies and gentlemen, to throw out these ballots by any means necessary. Oh my God, you put it in the envelope, but you didn't put it in the envelope within the envelope, so that's illegitimate. That's what's called a naked ballot. Throw it out. This is the stuff that they do. So when they talk about, oh, we want to count every legal vote and throw out every illegal vote, they're the con artists. They're the fraudsters. They're the ones who are undermining democracy. And Neil Cavuto, to his credit, every now and then he has a moment. Usually he doesn't, but this is one of those instances where he's like, come on, man, you can't just go out there and, throw around these wild accusations. And Trump, it's insane to watch him every single day on Twitter deny the legitimacy of the election, downplay it, repeat it over and over and over and over and over. Dude, you lost and it wasn't even that close. Let it go. Let it go. Even Fox News can't go along with him. I saw this with Bret Baier, too. There were instances where Bret Baier was like, well, the Republicans are saying this and that. I can't fucking cover that up. It's getting ridiculous, guys. It's getting ridiculous. Count every legal vote, but not every illegal vote. The idea that you're going to find a way to overturn 3 or 4 swing states where Biden has a somewhat comfortable lead. And what are you going to do? You're going to do it with the popular vote, too? Biden's up at least 5 million right now. It's going to be more. Somehow all those 5 million are fake. It's childish. It's childish. These are unserious people. And it's hilarious that these are the same people who talk about bringing democracy to the rest of the world. Same administration, same neocon goons. These are the same people who would talk about, oh, well, let's judge what's happening in Venezuela or Bolivia or anywhere else. Fill in the blank. These people who would throw out democracy like that if they could get their way. It's really dishonest and it's gross. We want sunlight and transparency. It exists, and you lost. It exists, and you lost. We want to count every legal vote, but not every illegal vote. In other words, let's try to find a way to take ballots which should be counted and throw them out for any BS reason. Middle initial wasn't within the envelope, you know. Oh, it was mailed on election day, but it arrived after election day. Therefore, hey, maybe it actually wasn't put in on election day. Throw that one out too. This is what they're trying to do. Because Republicans know the lower the turnout, the more likely it is that the Republican wins. And that's also why they're trying to do it specifically in cities. They want to do it in cities because cities are overwhelmingly more Democratic. Interesting. They only want to throw out the votes in the places where they know it's going to help Biden, where Biden won it. Frauds, con artists, every last one of them. You lost Neil Cavuto and you lost Fox News. You've gone so far, even they are like, Jesus Christ, man, give it a rest.